Mmm, a nice cup of coffee on a Saturday morning. What's up, everybody? Super excited to be here with you today. Let's talk about AI and how AI is actually going to be a definitive money changer for a lot of people. Now, it's also going to level the market for others, and it is going to explode for those who know how to utilize it, specifically the professionals. If you're a professional, service-based professional for a little over 10 years worth of experience, there's an expertise that you have that you can share to the market. But what I find is that there are three key elements that most people are missing when they try to go from the professional environment in which they live in which they are in, or recognize that, into the open position in the public and taking their knowledge and their expertise to the marketplace. Now, let's talk about that for just a little second, how AI is going to change all of that. It used to be uh, when I'm a marketing agency and I would bring clients on board, the one thing that we would do is we give them this big, huge questionnaire that they would answer questions about, who their ideal client was, their avatar. Sometimes we got to look at past sales and inventories and things like that, sales receipts and their emails of what people bought so they could create something. And it literally, we talk about this 3 years ago, this was, it was tedious. It was pages and pages of questions, and everybody used to get frustrated with that. Now, with the advent of AI, this is so cool. We have some platforms that we've, some one that we specifically designed because we needed it for our clients. We're going to give you access to that if you like, to try it out. So we have a beta program going on right now. But the most important thing is this, that now you can use AI. You can feed AI your entire content. This is so cool. You can give it, for example, I have a bot, I have an AI bot, and that answers all the questions based on my 15 years worth of knowledge of working as a consultant and a coach. So imagine this: 15 years worth of experiences, a doctorate degree, all of this has been pumped into this one particular AI agent that could quickly distill through the information. So if I ask it a specific question, it can go back and find that information connected to today's world and give you a relevant answer. So if we use that as professionals, this is what I know. This is my experience. This is my expertise. How can I best take this to the market? Because there's three critical areas that you need to cover. First of all, is how you're going to position yourself in the market. Now, this is where I go against every other single guru out there. Say, well, you got to niche down into the market. I tell you what, that's like, going spear fishing. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to position yourself in the market so that the market recognizes you as an authority. Now, why is that critical? Because with AI, everybody sounds like an expert out there today, right? So we're seeing that more and more every day. You see those long posts, you see all this other information. Just my camera here, so you see all this other information that is being put out, and you go like, wow. But guess what's going to find happen? A lot of those people are going to get found out. They're going to get found out because they have this great post, and then when you talk to them, there's no context there. So it all came from AI. Now there are others that they're going to put information out, and they're going to be able to stand up and stand behind it. So when I say that there are a lot of experts out there, it's just because everybody's using AI, okay, and they're presuming to be experts. What you want to do is you want to become the authority in the market. But you see, experts are going to be go out there chasing for people. Well, the expert stands, and people come towards the expert because of their content, their context, their character, and how they have positioned themselves in the market. There are a few people, I'm sure, in your market that if you say if there was an opportunity to work with them one on one to help you achieve a particular goal, you would know exactly who that person is. Okay. So how would you like to become them? So that's the three things that we got to work on. First of all, you got to work in your market. Okay, how do you position yourself in the market? And that is, being extremely specific on what it is that problem that you are solving. That is that one problem that you're solving. And again, because you are positioning yourself, and you work with X kind of people, that means that you're also excluding a whole bunch more. 99% of the market is being excluded because you have positioned yourself. The next thing is your messaging. Because Once you position yourself, you want to feel like you're being seen and you're not selling. Okay, so you're standing. This is my message. This is my platform. You're going to self identify with my message, my platform, and who I am. Okay, that's exactly how you want to position yourself. So you need to have that core message that's actually going to allow you, to communicate that this is who I work with, this is who I do not work with. Okay, and then again, those are going to be your just transferable skills that you're going to take to the market, and your message is critical. And in another video, we're going to talk about that one word on that particular message that you're actually telling people. When people ask, tapping the shoulder, ask you, what do you do? There's one word that you're saying that's actually killing your entire conversion. And we're going to talk about that. Probably we'll talk about that one tomorrow. So stay tuned, because I love doing this. It's actually what nobody else, is talking to you about in the market. But it's one word. It's one word that everybody's using that's actually killing all your conversions and is killing the value. And that's the next thing what it took. So the first thing that what it took is about a market. How do you position yourself in the market? The second thing that you got to do is your messaging. You got to have the right message out there. And third is the value. How do you define the outcome that your client is getting? Okay. Remember, you are giving value. They are buying the result from you. So keeping that in mind, one of the things that I have had the opportunity to see of the past 15 years that I've been in this industry full time, coaching industry for the past 15 years, and I've had the opportunity to work with a little bit over 1,900 people. That came out all fragmented, but 1,900 paying clients. I've been able to take all that information, thanks to AI, and put it all together. I say, okay, from all this 1,900, all these recordings that I have, all these notes that I have from all these different meetings, I put it all together into AI, and I said, so tell me, what do you see? And basically what we saw was that there are 5 distinct levels in the entrepreneurial journey. Okay. And I call it the 5 levels of entrepreneurial growth. And I actually mapped it all out. Okay. Here's a book, The 5 Levels of Entrepreneurial Growth. Oh, it's all right there. All right. And basically what we do is we look at, if you're in level 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, so what are those characteristics? What are the key characteristics of somebody who is in a level 1? Now, the way I wrote this book is it's an execution book. Okay, this is not a book that you're going to read, and it's like I have ADD, so I cannot, I mean, I read books, of course, but, to sit down and, this is the one kind of book that I want is an action-based book. So it's full of, just give you a description of the level, and then it's going to go now, okay, so these are the 10 different characteristics. This are the key characteristics of this level. And then I just bullet point. And now, give you a little explanation, very short explanation after each one. So you can actually grab the book, grab a highlighter, grab a piece of pencil, and write on, okay, check, this is done. All right. What should be your primary goals? There's 3 or 4 of them for each one of the levels. This is my primary goal in order for me to get out of this level and go to the next one. The section skills that you're going to need to master. So we have those on there too, because if you don't master that skill, you cannot move up to the next level. So literally, when people tell you, hey, I'm going to help you go to the next level, there are levels, okay? And I've been able to map them out. So if you write the word book below, I'm going to send you a free copy, digital copy of the book, and that way you're going to have that information. Then what are the financial realities of each one of the levels? When you reach this, you should have accomplished these things. There's an action list right there. If you have accomplished all of those, you can consider yourself moving forward, or maybe there's one thing that's missing, and that's going to be your focus for the next, 7 days, 14 days, or 30 days, because we keep everything in very short periods of time. I learned that from Dr. Benjamin Hardy. That way you can scale your business a lot faster. And then what are the warning signs that you're stuck? Okay, I think there's 5 for each one of the levels. I think one level has 4, and there's just, because you got to look at those things. If you're thinking this way, you're stuck, because in order to move forward, there's a lot of thinking, a lot of mindset that needs to be done. There's a different kind of thinking. The thinking that gets you to 100K is not going to be the same thinking that's going to get you to 1 million, and it's not going to be the same thinking that's going to get you to 10 million either. Okay, so you're going to look into that. And then, the warning signs that you might be getting stuck, that the things that you have to work on, and how most people sabotage themselves at each one of the levels. So you really want to go back and take a look at that. And, the 3 core moves that you need to do, in order to effectively move up to the next level. So if you write the word book below, okay, somewhere in the chat, I'll make sure that you get a free copy, a digital copy of the book. And that's going to help you. So today I want to just refocus back on the use of AI. AI is a fantastic tool. where it's going to help you to be able to grab all of your knowledge and synthesize it down to a program that you're going to be able to give to somebody else to help them solve that problem that they have based on your own expertise. So that, today, that's my message for you today. Take advantage of AI. Rain AI, artificial intelligence, has made such huge leaps in the last 6 months alone that right now there's a perfect window of opportunity. It's not going to be here 6 months from now. Guaranteed that it's not going to be here 6 months from now. But right now, if you take advantage of it, you can position yourself in the market as an authority and not like just everyday expert like we're seeing out there right now. Okay. So my name is Ruben. This is Saturday morning. This is my life for today. I wish you the best and stay tuned because we'll be back daily right around 9 a.m. All right. We will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody.